Italian Americans. It's amazing how we all have similar stories, similar origins. It's even like we all have the same story. Even with all the discrepancies and variation, there are many commonalities. Between 1880 and 1940, millions upon millions of us flooded into America, almost exclusively due to poverty and seeking a better life. We clustered together in tight-knit communities here in the States and battled many of the same challenges: prejudice, living in a foreign land, association with the mafia, learning to speak an unfamiliar language, etc. Not only the same challenges, but the same features: our culture, our food, our traditions, which have permeated American culture and become a mainstay in this country, recognizable to millions of people outside our community. This framework can also be applied to all immigrants, but in this case it's Sicilians and Italians. Many came here in waves and installments, and many arrived in America, left, and came back several times, enduring long and treacherous boat rides in order to arrive at Ellis Island and be processed and herded into the American masses. My mom's parents were both Sicilian. They chose to marry into their own ethnic group and stayed good friends with many people who could trace their origins back to the same region of Sicily that they came from. Over time, this clustered, tight-knit nature of their community fractured and dissipated. My mom married a man of English-Scottish origin whose family was from an English colony in Africa. My dad grew up in America but was born in Africa. My mom's family came from Sicily to Nebraska and then moved to California. I was raised in Vermont because that's where my dad grew up. I did not grow up around predominantly Italian community, though there was and apparently still is a large Italian community right in Rutland County, Vermont, where I once grew up. Over time, we lose a little bit of that tendency to identify with our own culture and be around our own people. This is why I love pages like Hardcore Italians and Growing Up Italian and etc., as well as shows like The Sopranos and more. They help me to backtrack in a sense and find that sense of cultural cohesion and association that I was missing throughout my upbringing. The Sopranos may be about the mafia, which is controversial, but one of the things I love about it is that the cast is mostly Sicilian. I had my family, my aunts, and my nana and nanu, and their Italian friends and family, and of course my mom, but with the exception of my mom, they were all on the other side of the country in Nebraska. Sometimes it's the skies, too. There's a lot of people out there who are a small part Italian but retained an Italian last name or otherwise identify as being Italian, though in reality they are only a small part Italian. I'm 50% Sicilian. My mom is 100%. But my name is Dylan Pilcher, which is English on the surname and Welsh on the first name. You can't tell by my name at all that I'm even Italian. Therefore, I often feel obligated to tell people I'm Italian in order to make them aware, because I always choose to celebrate my heritage rather than to forget about it or mourn it. I feel endlessly thankful for the trip our ancestors made to this country, though I often wonder what life would have been like for me in Sicily. I'm thankful for the sacrifices these people made in order to give me a better life. To all my Italians, and everyone else too, ciao bella, love ya, y'all are great, and as my nonna used to say, believe it. And one last note I'd like to make, just shout out to Growing Up Italian, Hardcore Italians, Louisiana Bayou Italians, and all the other pages that keep me up on my Italian community stuff. And one of the greatest cultures ever. And let's not use our backgrounds to alienate each other or push each other away, but instead to celebrate our common heritage as human beings and to encourage each other and make life a better place. It's not about separating humans, it's about celebrating.